Reeds, what are they? What is the point of them? Why do I need them? And what is with the numbers and the sizes and the strengths or whatever the person at the retail stall keeps asking me about? Really, really good questions, and things that I find a lot of beginners don't always know or understand. So today I want to spend a couple of minutes going through with you what reeds are, what their purpose is, how to use them, and also things that you need to know when you go to purchase a reed. So first things first, reeds are basically cut pieces of cane in a particular shape or style which fit your instrument. You'll slide it onto the mouthpiece, and it is this piece of cane along with your mouthpiece that is going to create the sound on your instrument. Reeds can be made out of a couple of different materials. We have cane reeds and we also have synthetic reeds. Cane reeds are the most common reeds that you'll come into contact with and probably what you have right now. A cane reed is made out of cane, and it is a consumable. It is something that's going to last you a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and then you're going to have to get rid of it and get a new one. Cane reeds are quite affordable. They can be anywhere between $5 to about $10 a reed, which sounds expensive, but compared to a synthetic reed, it's significantly more affordable. Now, a cane reed will need to be wet when you use it, so you will either need to suck it or put it into a cup of water before you use it. And as I said, it goes on your mouthpiece, and this is the first thing that comes into contact with your air, and it will vibrate, and this vibration will create the sound on your instrument. Now, another option is a synthetic reed. Now, a synthetic reed might be something like this, which is made out of plastic. Could also be a cane reed, which has a plastic coating on the tip. So synthetic reeds are a little bit more expensive, but the whole point of them is that they're less susceptible to environmental factors like heat or moisture. The idea is that you'll grab your synthetic reed, put it on your instrument, and you can play. And it should be the same every single time you use it. Now, the number on the back of your reed, what does it mean? So you'll notice that there'll be a number right down the bottom on the back of the reed. This is the part of the reed that's going to go flush on your mouthpiece. So that number refers to how hard your reed is. So the higher the number, the harder it is. The lower the number, the softer it is. Now, softer reeds are going to be easier to blow. They're going to be easier to make vibrate and then create a sound. However, softer reeds are going to have some drawbacks. So they probably won't have as nice an intonation or tone, and they're going to be a lot more haphazard, a little bit honkier, a little bit shriekier. They're just not as nice in general. For a beginner, they're brilliant because beginners don't have the muscles in their face or their embouchure to be able to support a harder reed or to be able to even make a harder reed vibrate. So you might need to start on a soft reed. Number one is the softest reed you can have. Then there's a 1.5, a 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. You get the idea. So when you're a beginner, you'll probably want to be starting with a 1, 1.5, maybe a 2. I wouldn't be going much harder than this because then they start to get really, really difficult to blow. However, I would recommend every time you purchase a new reed, whether that's in 3 months, 6 months, or longer, make sure that you're moving up half a step. So if you're starting on a reed size 1, the next time you go to purchase your reed, which hopefully will be in about a month or 2, you'll go to a 1.5. Then after your 1.5, you'll go to a 2, and so on. The first couple of strengths will be quite easy to move through, and then you'll get to a point where you'll find it quite difficult to readjust to this new reed. But make sure that you're going up or moving up in strengths. The firmer the reed, the harder it is, but also the better it sounds. Now, I wouldn't go much higher than about a 2.5 or a 3. 2.5 and a 3 is about the sweet spot. Once you're getting higher than this, you're probably going to start to look at your reed, ligature, and mouthpiece combination, because you might want a softer reed because your mouthpiece is different, or you might want a harder reed because your mouthpiece is different. For a beginner, 1, 1.5, 2, and then progress up until you get to about a 2.5, 3. After that, you probably need to be talking to a teacher or doing a bit of research about what you should do after that point. The other thing is about the brand or the types of reeds. Now, every reed is going to be cut slightly differently. Now, when it's cut differently, it's going to react differently, it's going to sound a little bit different, and it may even feel a bit different. I could go into all the scientific bits and bobs about what the different cuts and sizes and styles are, but to be honest, what works for me may not work for you. So my recommendation is to go to your music shop, ask for your size 2 alto reed in the brand that you're comfortable with, and then try something else, whether it's a different color or style within the same reed brand, or whether you're trying a completely different brand. Every time you go, grab your reed you're comfortable with and one other that's different. You might love it, you might hate it, but you're never going to know until you give it a shot. So, just to recap, reeds, they can be made out of cane or a synthetic material. Cane reeds are more affordable, but they don't last as long. Synthetic reeds will be a little bit more long wearing, and the idea is they're not going to be susceptible to environmental factors. They are more expensive, but they do last a little bit longer. The numbers on the back of the reed refer to how hard or soft your reed is. As a beginner, you'll want a 1, 1.5, or a 2. Every time you purchase a new reed, which might be every month or 6 months, move up a reed strength. Go from a 1 to a 1.5. Move from a 1.5 to a 2. Go from a 2 to a 2.5. And also, when you're experimenting with the different types and styles and brands of reeds, buy one that you're comfortable with and then experiment with another. So purchase the same strength reed in a different style or a different brand to see what you do and don't like. Just start developing your understanding of what you like and what you don't like.